All right, we are live. It's the Spin and Backfist MMA show, the first pay-per-view breakdown of the year. It's Robbie Fox, Jack Mack, and Big Ev. As always, we are here brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka, born from an uncompromising passion for great vodka. While making great vodka is their passion, they're also inspired by those who stay true to who they are and share an unbridled passion for everything they do, from pursuing their dreams to celebrating with friends to having an epic night out. This Saturday could be an epic night out in Toronto for a lot of the fighters on UFC 297.
Yeah, no, I mean, an epic night out for all the fans there. And
fans as well. Yep, it's going to be cold.
And I
so
think
you might need some New Amsterdam to warm up, you know?
Like runs Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, they run Canada.
And
I was always been a New Amsterdam guy, college, big New Amsterdam guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be drinking it this
weekend. Best bang for your buck in the vodka.
Oh, without a doubt.
Best bang for your buck.
And that is why New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. Find your wins with New Amsterdam Vodka. It's going to be a great card. Hopefully we got some Canadians in the chat that are going to be there this Saturday. Toronto hasn't had a card in a long time. UFC put together an amazing card for them. This is the first of like an amazing stretch.
Oh, yeah.
297, 298, 299, 300. We're eating.
Big time.
Yeah.
And you could probably argue maybe this might be the least of it, and it's still strong.
And it's I think
Very
it's a great
strong.
pay-per-view still.
The some really good prelim fights as well.
Yep.
Some prelim fights I'm very excited for.
And Sean Strickland and DDP put aside their beef.
What a video that was.
You had such
Incredible.
a great tweet. You were like, thanks for understanding.
The way Sean is like, thanks for understanding, man. As if he said, like, thanks for understanding, you know, like that's a little off limits. It's like he literally went out and bought a knife. There's a video of him buying a knife in Canada and being like, yeah, I'm gonna stab him and ruin my life and his if he mentions that again.
Do you see the clip of him with Megan Levy?
I saw some of the interview.
Like him just being like he doesn't understand. Like, I'll throw away my life. Like, I don't.
Oh
care.
Yeah.
Like he was. Like,
and I
he was
believe
like, whether
him.
it's
I
now
really
or
do.
like in like however many years, like when it's all done.
Am I crazy for believing him that he would do that if it came down to it?
I think it's like as serious as somebody could be. Like, especially him. I mean, he's a true. I don't think this is a show.
He literally said, "You're gonna look back at this interview and be like, holy shit, he was serious."
Yeah.
He's like preemptively calling a shot, like I'm gonna murder someone at some point.
And you know what's
in my
little
future.
crazy to me is MMA fans are normalizing a lot of what he's saying as like, well, that's him. You know, he speaks his mind. And it's like he's literally threatening murder. That's not just a normal thing to do.
Yeah.
No, it's true. but also, I guess now I'm the MMA fan defending him, and also with Sean, kind of his own words. Getting in a cage with just your underwear on and fighting is not normal behavior.
No, true. I mean, we can't expect these guys to be role models, as we saw at Media Day yesterday.
Yeah,
that got dark real quick.
I will say it did get. I said in the chat, it got dark. I watched the whole thing. They kind of cut when he starts talking, like that gives the more of the context. Like right after the clip essentially stops, he's like, "Listen, like I don't have a problem with gay people. Like do whatever you want."
Oh, he cut that.
It seems like crazy to say what he said, but
I
then
know
also
it does.
say I don't have a problem
That
with
is
gay
also-
people.
It was. I guess more the only thing he just was like kind of he's against like the pushing those kind of education in schools and stuff, which not to get like that's just his stance was like I don't agree with like.
But he could
telling kids who they can and can't fuck. These are his words. Who they can and can't fuck and this and that. Like that was kind of more his, I guess his stance than just purely like fuck gay people. Like that was not. Well, I guess fully what he was like trying to say.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of said "fuck you" if you're like that guy.
I know, and that guy I think is Alexander K. Lee, good journalist and everything. Like respect to asking the questions. I think multiple things can be true. A lot of people are saying it's a fight press conference for a fight. Ask about the fight. I sort of agree to a degree.
He threw the alley. He
knew the answer he was getting from Sean Strickland.
100%. He was like baiting him into.
So I think that's also true, but also like we can say Sean Strickland's answer is just crazy. Like both things are true.
I think it's completely fine for him to ask that question. It was kind of a little bit of bait.
Yeah.
And you know how Sean's going to react, but also this is UFC MMA fight game. You have to be okay with being asked that question. If you're okay with saying, I'm going to murder this guy, like we cross the line all the time.
Totally.
Not us personally, but they do.
Yes.
Because I mean, like they're the barbarians of society. Like
it's
they
modern day gladiator fights, as they call it, you know, like,
and to expect Sean, but Sean, yeah, he can have, my problem is he can have the state, like the thought, I don't want it in schools, that pushing the narrative, which I think a lot of people would agree with, but he took it so far. He's like, would I have a fucking kid who's gay? Like, fuck that.
That is the thing when he called, he didn't say
know.
like you're a vile person if you would love your son if they were gay or something. It's like, well, that is a
Yeah,
little over the
that's
line.
where I think he was like, I think he came across that way more than he
You don't want grandkids.
I think
It was like a holy shit.
I think the point he was like trying to make was essentially like, oh, like if you like heard your kid was gay, like just initially it's like he was trying to say it's not like your ideal scenario, which you can like obviously people have their disagreements with that. I think that's more what he was saying than just like I would just disown my gay son.
I think he would.
He might. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
think he was
defending him
what's
too
going to
much.
happen?
I think he would murder.
Maybe I'm
his
defending
gay
him
son.
too much. The more I heard him talk after the fact,
Yeah.
it seemed like that was what he meant, was like just basically like be honest with yourself, like as a straight white, like you might be like, oh shit, like I'll just like you might have aspirations of your kid having like interest in sports and different things, and then if they're gay, then maybe they don't. I think that's more what he was like, just saying like that's not what you would want in your like perfect world, how you drew it up in your head.
All right,
I guess is what he was saying.
Yeah.
I see that. Also, I mean, he's just like, he's out of his mind.
And always has been. This is not something
Oh,
new.
yeah.
Like that's the other thing is I feel like this rant is probably reaching a lot of people. Maybe for the first time they're seeing Sean
People
Strickland.
texted
Like,
me yesterday about it.
This was the sort of thing where it's like if you know Sean Strickland, you knew what his answer to that question was.
They
gonna
were
be.
like, people were texting me. They were like, "Who is this guy?" I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
like-
how much time do you have?"
yeah,
Yeah.
But did you see him talk about the women fighters too?
I don't think I did. No.
Oh yeah. He basically was like, do you want to see two like cats fight? You want to see two lions fight?
And he said
He was like, what makes more money, the WNBA or the NBA?
he's like, I can't watch women fight, but
That's a much larger conversation.
which
Yeah, that was I pretty much said direct
but
quotes.
then
yeah.
But then Tatiana Suarez commented, I think, on the MMA fighting post of the clip and was like, Sean's lying. He watches me spar all the time. And I was and in my
That's
mind, I
funny.
was like, I don't think it's an act. I think that's really Sean Strickland. But like, does he turn it up a little bit? Like, you know how a lot of people
Yeah.
hear,
Oh, I think he
like,
does.
we're all like pretty normal. Like even Rico to an extent. He's a psycho, but he's like
Rico to an extent, you know.
he turns it up when
Yeah.
the cameras are on.
Now Rico's the one that's
that is true. But I would say you,
he'd be like that in the room.
Yeah.
like if we're watching a game together, just you and I, let's just say we're at a bar. I don't think I would see the same reactions from you.
You just turn it up a
But-
notch, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's that you're kind of, I'm trying to think of a better example.
I mean, when I do my thing in college football show, I like obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not running around like cutting promos.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
In front of like opposing fans getting in people's faces.
I'm not like screaming at like I don't just scream at everyone I talk to. But yeah, you play it up. You like
play it up a little bit.
we got to put on a show.
Entertainers. But again, he probably shouldn't have been. Oh, but during the woman's rant, he pointed at the same journalist who was like, "This guy would beat up Raquel." Raquel Pennington.
Which that I disagree with.
Yeah,
No,
I
that-
disagree.
yeah, that- that's
he was
wrong.
like anyone in this room could like beat up one of these that's like
That's
fighting for the
insane.
belt. I think that's incorrect.
That's so incorrect.
I think that's incorrect.
Myra
That's-
Bueno Silva would, I think,
I
knock
think-
out
I think-
all the journalists.
I think
Yeah.
Mario Bueno Silva would tap me in seconds.
Dude, I
Like,
took
she would beat
one
the shit out
leg
of
kick
me.
from Meatball Molly. I can't imagine eating a couple leg kicks in a fight against
Oh my
anyone on the roster.
And even just watch them hit mitts.
Yeah, for
Like, you'd
real.
be like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Also, you can make the point like Ronda Rousey was the UFC's biggest star before Conor. The gender doesn't matter as much as the people and the storylines around
100%,
them, especially for an individual sport like MMA.
I mean, there's huge stars in women's MMA. He was saying if men's MMA and women's MMA split,
If they were separate,
Yes.
no one would. But here's the thing: we don't want them to be separate. I don't think UFC wants
No.
them to be separate either. I think Dana's the old, like Dana's kind of closer to Sean Strickland than like the journalist.
than most people think.
Yeah. Like, I think if Dana White was seeing that the women's MMA was losing him money, he would just be like, "Fuck this."
I don't know. He's definitely come. Ronda was like a huge.
That is true.
She
But that's
changed
because
his
she
mind
made
a
so much
ton.
money.
Totally. And well, he saw the potential of like, whoa, you could make that much. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like Alexa Grasso is headlining in the Sphere come September.
I keep thinking about the Spear.
I can't wait for that show.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be
crazy.
great.
I still don't know. Can't imagine what they're gonna put on the Sphere during that.
It'd be sick if they just put like the fight.
Like in the background? Do you think it will
No,
throw off
But
the
it's going to be
fighters?
right behind. That's the thing is like the
But
sphere is
imagine
right
you're, like, in
behind the cage.
But you think they could just put like a like they put like graphics? Like you think they could just show the fight? Like obviously it'd be kind of hard to watch, but you just see like two people squared up, like you're just watching the exchange like on the sphere. You think they could do that?
I think they can. I think they could do anything. I
think
think they
that'd
could
be
put like a
insane.
fake jumbo.
Like imagine just like an aerial view. If they just for the photo itself,
Yeah.
like you're just seeing like on the sphere, just two people fighting.
That'd be sick. I wonder if it'll be distracting for the fighters.
That's my biggest thing. It's like how now
They're gonna want to look like they're gonna be slightly curious. Like
at PFL when they fight at Hulu Theater,
Mhm.
the cage is close to
it's a
the
similar setup in
but
terms of like
it's not
yeah.
above you. It's not
Yeah.
like it's so different. So
Will
I
it be
think-
like baseball? Like center field's got to be blackout. Like do they have like
Yeah.
a zone that they can't put graphics on for?
I know what you're
sports?
saying. Yeah.
I don't know, but that's way in the future.
Speaking of PFL,
Yeah, PFL huge news this week. PFL versus Bellator announced.
awesome in Saudi.
Yeah, really
Great
good
card, elbows allowed. That's a
Yeah,
huge
elbows
factor of
big.
it.
Which fight are you most excited for?
Colin McKay, not even one of the title fights, to be honest. Because I think a lot of those title fights are going to be washes. I just think matchup wise, like for example, like Bader Ren Ferreira, Bader's going to just lay on him.
Yeah,
That's where I'm afraid for. That's where I'm fearful for them. Also, that I did not realize it's the same day as UFC Mexico
I
City,
know.
and you have to pay for that as opposed to UFC Mexico City being free.
Now
Or
But it's in
ESPN
the,
Plus,
both be in
ESPN
the afternoon.
it's during the day, right? Because it's in Saudi. That's the one
The
thing
pay
they
per
have
view will
going
be
for
during
them.
the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps. But I'm
It
worried.
helps and hurts. I think,
I'm
'cause
worried
people
for-
don't love watching afternoon fights.
I'm worried for them saying I'm getting a UFC Mexico City card in 2 hours.
Yeah,
Is this in
And
February?
it's February 24th.
same day. Yeah,
It's literally the same day, and that card's. I mean, the two main fights are sick.
Yeah.
I mean, Moreno Royval and then Ortega Yair, like
Oh no, I mean
That's
the UFC
running
card's
amazing.
stacked.
2 5-rounder, and then and they've already put some great Mexican stars on it, like Raul Roses is on it, some
Yep.
other like some bigger names.
Did you see the clip of him and Rampage?
Raul Roses?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
Rampage is like, "How old were you when you lost your virginity?"
Oh,
and he's
that
like
is- yes.
15. He's like,
Yes.
what was his name? And he was like, "What?"
Yes, it's that clip. That was kind of old or older.
I think it was, but it was like made the rounds recently again on
Speaking
MMA
of
Twitter.
random clip that's making the rounds, I sent it this morning. I saw it on Twitter a few days ago. Shannon Ross
Oh, yeah.
getting
Oh,
knocked
dude,
out.
that
It's
meme,
just-
and it just goes just a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Oh man.
poor Shannon Ross.
I know.
man.
Yeah, I mean, he just. It's not his fault. He should have never got the opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he should have never been in the contender series.
I'm with you there too. Yeah.
And then they just put him in the cage and get knocked out 3 times in a row.
Poor.
I mean,
poor.
and the saddest part about the one that was the meme, like, hey, Zach, that was his first knockout of his career.
yeah.
yeah.
And it was a vicious.
It was
knock
like the
in, like,
first
10
connection,
in, like,
right?
10
yeah.
It was like 15 seconds in.
Matt
Oh.
in the chat says Impa versus Eblin should be fun. Definitely
I think Johnny will. Just
Yeah, I think
kinda-
Jobley works him too, but I think it should be at least like it's gonna be like
good
the
fight.
finish will be exciting and
Yeah.
all that.
And
I
then-
think Eblin finishes him.
Surprised Brunson
Also-
wasn't there.
Pitbull Pinedo.
Yeah,
I think Pinedo wins.
really.
I think Pinedo might just be really good and we haven't fully realized it yet.
what he did to Braga in the championship. this
Dude,
past
ran through
year,
him.
and I think
Dude, he
Braga's
ran
pretty
through
good.
everybody he fought in PFL.
Is Locknane on this card?
no.
Interesting.
Like he knocked out Lockname when he was like on an absolute heater.
Yeah, I don't know what Lockdown's doing.
maybe they're
Large was
Prepping
asking
him.
me about him yesterday.
prepping him for like
The next
this
season,
next
maybe, or-
season.
True.
But yeah, I think Pinedo might just be like pretty. I mean, he's still only like 23, 24.
That's crazy.
He was in the UFC already and out at like 20. Like I think he's so much taller than Pitbull and like longer. I think he runs through an old Pitbull.
It should be a good
I
fight.
really do. I think it's like not even like competitive.
Have they done it?
I think he ends up just kind of like slowly just beating him up.
And speaking of like young guys that were out of the UFC, we interviewed Sage Northcutt this week. It'll be
Yeah.
out next week because he's fighting on 165.
Great interview.
The fact that he's 27 currently
Insane.
is nuts to think about. It felt like he was in the UFC 10 years ago.
It was probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah, and
6.
he's still not even 30.
No, that's why I was
he could
curious.
be back one day.
That's why I was curious. Kind of
100%,
ask him like
yeah.
where he was at, like what's he wants to do. Like feels like he's been around forever, but he still has so much time left.
It's hard to ask someone under
Yeah.
contract like do you want to go back to the UFC one day? Is that like in the cards?
Yeah,
He said he wanted to be one champ.
Yeah, I
but-
wanted to ask him. That's why I just said, like, where do you want to see your career?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we obviously how we get interviews and whatnot is we have relationships with like people within those organizations, and they don't want to. Like, it's
they're like,
competition.
yeah. But next week we got interviews with not only Sage Northcutt but also Gary Tonin. Really cool interviews, both of them.
Yeah, Gary Tonin was great too. This guy in jiu-jitsu submitted Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
Who was like an all-time jiu-jitsu guy, beat Dylan Dennis.
Yeah. He's beat everyone there is to beat from 155 to 205, and he talks about like winning the Eddie Bravo Invitational at 205 as a natural 155er.
Yep.
Cool interview. So look out for them on the channel.
Some new UFC 300 fights since we last spoke.
Oh yeah.
Last recording.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we got
Gaethje Holloway for the BMF on the main
BMF,
card
yep.
of 300.
Which do we think that's co-main event or no?
They didn't even say.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be like the third fight.
I was having thoughts where if this card is stacked enough, if they really had a few more crazy ones, Oliveira Sarukian might be like the featured prelim potentially, or like the first fight of the main card.
That would be so
which
crazy.
is outrageous.
Yeah.
Especially Charles. Like, I mean, Charles is
Charles, that could headline a pay-per-view. I think Charles is big enough
100%.
star. He can headline a pay-per-view, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, when he headlined the one last year when he fought Benil,
It was awesome.
he was by far the biggest pop.
Definitely.
Superstar.
the biggest thing I think we're waiting on for UFC 300 is I think they want to see what happens this weekend.
I think so too. I've been saying I really think they want to do Izzy versus the winner.
Yeah.
Almost no matter what. But I think especially if it's DDP, Izzy
Yeah.
DDP is the headliner.
Yeah.
And I think Strickland, I think they look at Strickland as a guy who's so crazy. So like he'll be like, yeah, I'll fucking do it. And Strickland will make, if he wins this weekend and then he headlines UFC 300, like Strickland will make so much money.
Yeah.
So much money.
He's gonna buy so many AR-15s. It's
Do you see
ridiculous.
do you see the one
Ryan
his
Luke Thomas
ga-
is going to be
You
furious.
see the one his manager gave him?
the gun.
His manager as a gift gave him an all gold gun. It's legitimately gold.
That's like Call of Duty when you like beat the game, you get the gold
it's
camo.
sick.
Giving
It
away a
says
signed
it says
AR-15.
Sean
That's
Strickland
crazy.
on
How
it.
do you give away a gun?
I don't know.
That as soon as I saw it, I was like, how does that work? You have to like, do you have to like be a registered like?
I would assume within the fine print, you probably have to be in Nevada, something like that.
Hysterical, just like to be swiping through Instagram stories on a random day and be like, AR-15 giveaway from Sean Strickland. Like, what?
He's like, guys, thanks for supporting me.
Yeah.
For the thanks, I'm giving away this AR-15.
He's wearing a shirt everywhere that says, I want a woman in every kitchen and a gun in every hand.
Yeah, and that's just Sean Strickland 2024.
This guy,
That's
I
his main merch he's
truly,
selling.
I truly want to know what like execs think of him. Like the people, it's hard to say above Dana White's head because within the UFC, Dana White is the be all end all, but he of course answers to like ESPN and Disney. I want to know like what Disney thought of that rant.
Oh, they didn't like it.
No way did they like it. No
He
way.
Also so funny in the interview, the media day, he has like some sort of like handler now. I don't know if it's with the UFC
Yeah.
or it's like his own like.
He's like,
PR
what,
person.
did I go too far?
And then apparently from what he was reacting, his guy kept being like, "Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think he said it 2 or 3 times."
Yeah.
He like looked over to him after the
He was
LGBT.
like, oh,
He was like, did I cross the line? That wasn't too bad, right? I didn't say the F word.
And then they also, it was so funny. He was talking about a different F word than fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because he kept being like, I didn't say it. And the media guy was like, you literally just said it. And he was like, no, like not
that one.
Not that one.
And then and then the guy goes like, yeah, you did. He's like, come on, man.
Disney's more focused on McAfee, Rogers, Kimmel beef than Strickland.
That's a good-
honestly is probably
true.
Yeah.
And also just Logan with the DDP, the turnaround thing. I know he didn't last time, but I think I might have said the 1 or 2 shows ago, and I still stand by it. If he doesn't take too much damage, the like it's what you just said with Strickland. It's just be the same thing with DDP. The amount of money from that card with him officially getting pay-per-view points,
Crazy.
I think would be enough for him. And I think just wanting to fight Izzy
Yeah.
would be enough for him to like say, I'll turn
To
around. in
headline
3 months.
UFC
And-
300, that's like historic.
And
That's what I'm saying. Like literally, and now you're the one holding the belt.
Yeah.
You're getting the pay-per-view
You're the
points.
champ going into the
Off-
main event.
You're getting
the
pay-per-view
biggest
points
card
of
ever.
the biggest card of the year, probably biggest card they've had in a long time.
And if he doesn't take that, Dana would hate him for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
After
probably.
turning it down the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Especially
he would
UFC 300.
I think you would kind of just almost borderline make him.
unless he has an injury.
Kind of how we did Aljo Sugar.
Push him into the cage.
Unless he literally like breaks his leg or something. He's gonna be like, you're fighting. Like you're
Push him
gonna
into the cage. Lock
you're
the door
you're
behind him.
headlining 300 against Israel Sonic. Sounds good.
Yeah.
You're going to make millions of dollars.
Am I
You're
crazy
fighting
to
him.
say? I mean, we'll break down the fight, of course, but
Kanye versus Strickland on the mic. What, like, imagine that podcast. That would be.
I think
Incredible.
Strickland actually is safer than Kanye on the mic.
Yes.
As crazy as that is to say, I think Kanye has no one he even cares about like pissing off, and Strickland at least looked to his guy on the side. Like, was that too far?
Kanye's more unpredictable.
Yeah.
Strickland, you like know generally what he's
True.
going to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Like nothing he said yesterday was shocking or
No.
really surprising.
Kanye though,
Kanye could
did
just say
surprise
anything.
us over the years. You know, when he came out as like pro Hitler and stuff, that was surprising.
Kanye could come out and be like anti like cancer victims.
Yeah,
Like Kanye could say anything.
he could.
Like he just be like, if you have cancer, like you're a pussy.
Yeah, at least
He
with
could say
Strickland,
anything.
you could like add 2 and 2, and you're like, all right, that adds up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and what was the other fight they announced with the BMF title fight? We got 2 fights.
Jim Miller, Bobby Green.
Yes.
So we didn't get the Jim Miller fight we wanted necessarily. I think all of us wanted that Paul Felder fight.
Mhm.
I assume Paul Felder probably made the decision on his own, because I think if he wanted to come back, I think the UFC would make that fight.
Yeah.
But this is a good replacement. It's not Brock Lesnar either.
Yeah. Did you see the Russian drug dealer versus the
Dude, I tweeted. I got to blog that today because the Russian drug dealer looks like Kingpin from the Spider-Man
He
comics.
really does.
Just him just fighting in a full trench, like just trench.
He's
leather
got his
trench
chain
coat.
on still too,
And him just getting like it's weird because they have MMA gloves, but when you get dropped, they like stop it.
yeah, that
He got
it was
dropped
like
with
boxing.
a jab twice.
Yeah.
And then they was like, oh,
His ACL looked like it was getting
yo,
shredded.
he's a
too.
big boy. He's a
Yeah.
big boy in there fighting a guy
and that guy was
trained.
and he was top heavy
It was really
Yeah.
funny.
because he wasn't that tall.
I like those. We need to do a rough and rowdy Russia so we could just do whatever we want. You know?
Imagine like you guys getting sent over there. That would be so funny.
Meet Dave and Big Cat in those like furry hats and everything. That'd
Yes.
be amazing. Yeah, but Miller Green is a good fight. That's a tough fight for Jim Miller,
Yeah,
but he's been on such a crazy run that who knows what'll
and
happen.
Bobby Green's such a like
Bobby Green just got viciously knocked out in December. Like and
Yeah.
and like knocked out in the sense like was such a late stoppage. He
And
ate
didn't they
so
give
many
him like a
extra shots.
6-month.
Apparently not.
Hmm.
I guess not.
I
Yeah.
guess not.
He must have got cleared.
Maybe it was 120 days, which would be 4 months.
Honestly, I think this is a bad. We'll obviously get into it in April, but I think it's a bad fight for Jim Miller.
Me too.
It's tough.
I think he was fighting a bunch of guys who are like, and now he's fighting as much as Bobby Green's had his losses. The hand speed and all that, the striking difference is so big that anyone just fought the last like 2-3 years.
I look at Bobby Green as a fringe top 15 guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jim Miller's
agreed.
been fighting fringe top 45 guys like Gabriel Benitez.
so them-
a little higher, but
I would say besides Benitez, I'd almost say like he fought like some guys making their debuts and shit. Like
yeah, that was
Jesse
Yeah.
Butler making
That-
like a late
oh,
debut.
man.
And then the one
That
he
was
lost
bad.
was to Hernandez, who's like probably top 30-ish.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, I want Jim Miller to win.
Of course. I think Jim Miller just wants a good fight. I think he truly has like a Michael Chandler in him where he's like, I care more about putting on the craziest fight of the night, having people talk about me. And I think that's why he accepted the Green fight. Respect to him for accepting it. And I think Green will bring the fight
It's
to
a
him.
chance for him to get in the top 15 too.
It
If
is.
he wins, if he can win.
And he
Yeah.
keeps saying this is not my retirement fight.
No, I don't.
Which,
I mean,
yeah.
he's looked good. I don't.
Shouldn't
think
be.
It doesn't have to be.
Shout out Jim Miller.
Shout out Jim Miller. Love Jim Miller. All right. You want to get into 297?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
the only
touchdown.
obviously the only thing someone mentioned that Tatiana Suarez you just mentioned her is out of the fight,
oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
and Mackenzie Dern is stepping in to fight Lemos.
Yep.
Which is if you watch Dern's last fight, and you've seen Lemos fight, that's a horrible mismatch.
Yeah, she's
Dern, I mean,
she's got to get that money.
Lemos hits like a fucking truck,
She does.
and Dern just thought she'd have to protect herself against Andrade, who also hits like a truck.
Yeah.
But I think that
but
probably
not as
even
hard
less-
as Lemos,
Probably
probably.
not as hard as Lemos. Just Lemos is even Dana kind of was like dancing around. They said she hits like a man, which is respectfully.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we talked about this. Joe Pyfer broke Francis Ngannou's punching record. At
Oh,
the
I
UFCPI,
saw Sean Brady talking about that.
but they wouldn't give it to him.
He said he did it 3 times in a row.
And they were like, the machine must be broken.
The guy was like, "There's no way, like the machine's broken." He wouldn't believe it.
He said that on Rogan, right?
Sean
Yeah.
Brady said it because that's like his boy.
Isn't that
Yeah.
fucked up?
He said he broke the record. He did it 3 times in a row, and the guy was like, "No, this."
That's
can't
like
be
winning a carnival
real."
game and then being like, we're not giving you the stuffed animal.
Yeah, we're not
Like,
giving
but
you
I
the
just
prize.
won.
I just
What-
beat it.
what are you talking
did
about?
it 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I did it again.
I hit
and
a
again.
hole in one
Yeah.
on a Wii game for a like at a festival or like a carnival when I was
Yeah.
like 8th grade. and it was for like there's a PGA championship or PGA event in Connecticut called the Traveler Championship. It's like you hit a hole in one, you get like free tickets for the entire like 4 days. And I went up and I hit a hole in one, and the people at the concession were like, "No, it's over." They were like, we stopped counting in like at 5 o'clock because I did it like
5:01.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, what? And so I've never let it down. I can see it right now. It's a memory that's so vivid in my mind.
I would have been stewing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would have caused a scene probably.
I had one of those moments. There's a game on the Jersey Shore boardwalk with tires just swinging like that. You got to throw a football, hit the thing.
Of course.
I did it as a kid and I hit the target right in the middle. But I guess it didn't ring. Then they're like, no, it has to ring.
Oh
yeah, they are dirty. They're stingy about They're stingy about their stuff.
Dude, they were bad. And I was probably
and you're paying like $10 to throw 3 footballs.
Dude, I think I was 8 years old.
And they're stingy as hell.
And my dad, I think my dad grabbed one of them and was like, "You're gonna fucking give the kid the football," and they gave me the football.
Well, those guys,
yeah.
So
he was like,
Jersey Shore guys are like the carnies, we call them as locals.
Yes.
We call them carnies.
They're carnies.
They just they pay so much to have that station.
Yeah,
they get so stingy about their shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
considering how much
the
you
Jersey
pay
Shore for you. Yeah,
when they probably had some drunk asshole pay like $100 to throw like 20 footballs.
Yeah, for his girlfriend or something to win her a stuffed animal.
Yeah, to not get one, to get you just paid so much they gave you one out of he was like a Care Bear.
Yeah, one of the ones they got for $5, like the tiniest.
Oh,
little
not
thing.
even. They paid like $1 for it.
True.
And you just paid $100 to throw footballs.
Yeah, they buy them in bulk.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right. UFC 297 this weekend, the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
No, Vancouver.
No, Toronto.
Toronto. It was Vancouver last time.
Yeah.
Oh,
this one's East Coast Canada.
Sorry, I was confused by Chris Curtis talking about. Did you see him?
He fought in Vancouver.
Oh, that
against Gastelum, I'm pretty sure.
That clip he's gonna hate us for. I thought just us tweeting that out. I was like, Chris Curtis is gonna block us if he hasn't already.
I think he low key did on Instagram because I tried to tag him the other day on our account. I couldn't.
Yeah, I think he hates us, which I don't hate him.
Even Strickland makes fun of him for that. He said he's like, I'm not gonna go just delete my account like Chris Curtis, who's like his best friend.
Yeah.
That's literally what he said. It was so funny.
The card kicks off in the flyweight division. Jimmy Flick versus Malcolm Gordon.
Lee sent us the line movement for this fight.
Weird.
It started off like Malcolm Gordon minus 120,
right?
minus 120, or minus 110 pick him. Now he's up to minus 200, which almost makes me think, is Jimmy Flick hurt? I have made a good point. I mean, Jimmy Flick is sub or bust, but Malcolm Gordon isn't good.
Even when I said that, I more was saying that just from a betting perspective.
Yeah.
If you're going to bet Flick, just bet him sub. If you're laying minus 200 with Malcolm Gordon, you might be on crack. And he might win this fight very easily. But Malcolm Gordon is not good.
Because
just for a principle of laying over minus 200 with Malcolm Gordon in a UFC fight, you're crazy.
And Jimmy Flick could go in there and get knocked down in 10 seconds. I still think it would be a negative EV play.
Are they trying to give Malcolm Gordon an opponent he could be in Canada because he's a Canadian, kick the card off that?
Probably, but it's I guess it's but Malcolm Gordon's been around for so long. Yeah. He's not good. He's and also I think his grappling and his wrestling takedown defense sucks. Jimmy Flick could just kind of take him down. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to bet Jimmy Flick, but this line movement is throwing me off. What?
It's weird.
Going from minus 120 to minus 200 on fight week is.
That's why I think I'm just staying.
Significant.
I'm just staying away
because
there's something good. Listen, I'm not saying Flick is selling the fight, but Flick is in a tax bracket where selling the fight could be plausible.
That is true.
He should be throwing the fight.
Yeah.
Throwing the fight.
And he's only getting $10,000 for this.
Allegedly,
if he put together something that's he got another zero on the end.
You could potentially get if you get a bonus and win the fight, you can get $70,000, or we could just give you 70 to lose it
and just get knocked out.
Allegedly, we're not accusing anyone of anything.
Not even allegedly. There's just pure speculation.
Yeah, there's a hypothetical scenario. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Should be a murder.
She should win grappling, but Priscilla hits a truck too. So there's part of me that almost wants to just put a little sprinkle on her by knockout.
Yeah,
that she could, because she just it's either she's gonna land a big shot or she's probably just gonna held down for 3 rounds.
I do like Jasmine. Round 2, round 3. I haven't seen the props aren't out yet. Maybe they are this morning. I haven't checked, but I think like theoretically this goes one of 2 ways, which is what Ev was saying. Either Priscilla finds a knockout, catch a body, cachoeira, or Jasmine is on top for 10 minutes of this fight. And if she's on top, and she does go for it, like Jasmine does go for finishes, and like Priscilla, like the only thing is Priscilla's tough, like tough as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So
the zombie is her nickname, right?
Yeah. She's just like so, but and Jasmine, I mean, Canadian, pretty good. She's not bad. I think the UFC would like if she wins this, will definitely lean into her. They want her to win this for sure.
Oh yeah. Is that Alex or Alec? It says the boys rank their top current Canadian fighters. Mike Malot's up there.
Yeah,
obviously.
Malot's got to be.
Malot's my favorite.
Malot's
Jillian
probably,
Robertson for females.
I like Charles Jourdain. A decent
women?
Yeah, Jourdain for sure. I'm trying to think who's like in like really ranked. There's not like a ton.
There's not a lot right now.
Malot's this is his shot to be. If he wins, he'll be ranked.
Yeah.
MMB also.
I feel like Malot feels like the next like hope for Canada.
Yeah, I think
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got. Oh, we'll get to his fight later.
And then Lioness.
MAB.
Oh, MAB.
Yeah. If he beats Chris Curtis, he would be ranked.
Not in UFC, but the recently retired OAM.
Of course.
Oh yeah, then Rory McDonald. Yeah, Hakeem Dawodu is pretty good.
Yeah, he hasn't fought in a long time.
I'm looking at other. Oh, Aaron Jeffrey in Bellator.
Yep.
He had.
Yeah, he's good. He challenged for the belt.
Yep.
And then
Yeah, Malot's got to be the one with the most like potential.
I'm just looking at. Oh, Felicia Spencer. Oh, but she doesn't fight anymore.
No.
Yeah.
She fought for the belt and was like
Yeah,
got
she did.
destroyed and was like, oh, I'm done.
Julia Budd is a Canadian, right?
No, I think she's American.
Is she? Who fought? Was there a Canadian that fought Kayla?
Maybe she is Canadian. I'm looking. She is Canadian. Great call.
Huh.
Brad Katona.
Oh, yeah.
Brad Katona.
He's
Well,
Irish
he's
now, sort
Irish.
He's got a brogue.
They might boo him in Canada for like abandoning the
see that,
country.
yeah.
Johan Lanese versus Sam Patterson.
It's an interesting fight.
It is. I don't have the odds in front of me, but I imagine they're close.
Laney's is minus like 140, 150. I think he lands a knockout.
The only thing
yeah.
is,
But his cardio is scary. He's like been known to gas. But Patterson, we haven't really seen. He got knocked out at 155
True.
by Amos, the guy who Chris Duncan
Ashmos.
fought his last fight. Amos or the
Yanal Ashmos, the Red
Israel.
Fox.
Yeah, he's
I'm
from
pretty sure
Israel.
Israel.
He's Israeli. Yeah.
Yeah,
But then he fights out of that camp in New Jersey that Asmat fights out.
Oh
of.
yeah.
I forget what it's called.
Like with
But,
Mark Henry in them?
What?
Like with Coach Mark Henry and stuff?
No, it's this random like I forget what it's called. It's like a very
I want to visit this camp, this random camp.
yeah. It's
We got to do some out of office videos with the recent camps this year. That's a goal.
Yeah.
Let's
I think
do
that'd
it,
be fun.
especially when it gets a little bit warmer outside.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Ladies lands a knockout. He hits hard as hell. My concern is definitely his cardio, but I like Lanez to win.
These are 2 long bodies. They're both long. Yeah. Sam Patterson, the thing is, he just leaves that chin up out there. I feel like the line's getting a little wide. I wish I got Lioness at like minus 110, minus 120. Now I'm kind of looking at Patterson like, maybe like this is a good buy low spot for him. He could avoid the big shots and then maybe push it until round 2, round 3. But then again, like you have a guy that's long, leaves his chin up out there, is going up in weight. Do you really want to bet on him? If it gets up to like minus 180, maybe I'll consider it. But right now I think I'm passing. But I get the love for Lioness for sure.
There's some people in the chat, Hot Billy being one of them, not liking the card. Someone
Well,
said
this card is dumpster juice.
Someone said, why are they giving the Canadian cards all the mid pay-per-views? This is 2 in a row, possibly 3. I think this is a good card.
So I think what I remember from the last card was people said the same thing, and then the fights were insane.
Yeah.
You had like the Ige Landwehr fight was nuts. Gaslam Curtis fight was good. There was a lot of good fights. I think that was even a prelim. But last time it was Vancouver, people said the same thing, and they were great. Like the matchups were incredible.
Wait for the fights, guys. I bet the fights are going to deliver.
We got Oliveira, Dariush.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think it was when almost the end of the first round, but it was crazy as long as it lasted.
This card gets pretty good. Like, I mean, it's not loaded, but it's a good pay-per-view card. And then the main event, the main card's actually pretty good. I know Raquel Pennington doesn't like get the juices flowing, but still.
And Mitt Romney just said that you lost Reyes Olberg, you lost Rakic versus Blachowicz, so you lost 2 like big fights.
Yeah,
that would have made it. I think those 2 fights would make it look way better.
Very funny to also just mention Mitt Romney as always.
Shut up, Mitt Romney.
Yeah, shut up, Mitt Romney
in the chat.
Just like shut up, Mitt.
In the women's strawweight division, you've got Jillian Robertson, who we just mentioned, versus Polyana Viana.
Jillian by finish.
Jillian minus almost 200. Do you take her there?
Well, I think she's
I'm seeing like almost 300 now.
She's almost kind of safe there.
Yeah,
because like I feel, I mean, the thing is, wait, so who's she fighting? Sorry, I'm blanking.
Polyana.
Polyana just loves like accepting the guard as she goes for arm bars. But Jillian Robinson's she's a long time jiu-jitsu like specialist. Like avoiding arm bars is like just a walk in the park for her. I feel like if you have Jillian Robertson, a great BJJ specialist, on top for 3 rounds, like I feel like she'll be able to find a finish or at least get close. I'll have to see the sub line. I mean, if it's plus 150, I'm not going to touch it. But if it's like plus 300, yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's also like pay-per-view card. You want to have some plays.
Yeah. In the next fight, you've got Sergey Sidi versus Ramon Tavares. I think 2 Contender Series debut.
No, this is a rematch. It was the Contender Series. It started on the Contender Series. It got stopped early.
On the Contender Series.
Yes.
Oh, and that's who they had.
But they're both making their UFC debut.
I do remember Dana.
Saturday,
I remember he dropped him and they just stopped it right away. And Dana was like, listen, he did what he was supposed to do. And he said, like, I don't blame him. Like, the ref stopped it and was basically said, I'm going to give the guy who got clipped another chance because he kind of got hit and just the fight was over.
Sadie is Canadian. Tavares is the guy who got knocked out, quote unquote, but it was an early stoppage. Sadie's like minus 180, but Tavares, his cardio is questionable, but he has really good boxing and he was looking decent in the fight. This should be a good rematch. I kind of like Tavares plus 160, but when he got dropped, he kind of just got caught, but he was not.
No, he wasn't out of it.
He was not. He got up immediately.
Yeah, he got
and
dropped,
was
but was not out.
So I'm excited for this one. It's Canadian. The guy's Canadian, Sadie.
Says he's Ukrainian. Maybe he fights out of Canada.
But he's not Team Alpha Male.
Okay.
Like because I know that it's Malat, him, and Jasmine are all Team Alpha Male.
Maybe he's just an honorary Canadian.
Yeah, I like Tavares as well, though, as the dog.
Then in the featherweight division, you've got Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. This is a great fight, great matchup here. Did you guys see the clip of Jourdain, Oscar Willis asking him about Twitter?
Yeah.
That was really funny when he says, do you run your own Twitter? You can see Jourdain's face. I mean, he's like, yes. Yes. Just starts talking about all the
He knew immediately what he was going to ask him about.
He knew right away. It was great. Jourdain's the favorite in this one. I like him a lot in this fight.
This is a tough one. Woodson's just so big and long. He definitely poses problems. I mean, being a 6'2" featherweight is outrageous. This is one I've had a really hard time kind of breaking this one down because Woodson, just that element of being so long can give almost anyone problems.
True.
And is Jourdain gonna? I mean, he does have submissions on his resume, but like, do you think he's gonna? Guys like that are tall like that are hard to take down. They have such a wide base, and especially Woodson's legs are so fucking long. Like him just spreading that base out, it's hard to get it, like lift the guy up and take him down and keep him there. So if Jourdain wants to just get in like a striking match with him, I think it's a close fight.
And it's like we know Jourdain starts slow, and I think Woodson may even be able to take Jourdain down. And I know Jourdain looked good against Kron Gracie, but Kron Gracie forgot he didn't throw punches. Like
no
like
punches,
no punches. Like he can't. It's like his next fight, he's gonna throw.
That fight was almost a wash. You almost say like that fight never happened.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He just won by the other guy sitting on his ass the whole fight.
I think when round 3 starts, people are gonna feel really great about having Woodson plus 160, 170 ticket. And that being said, he may lose the decision. I kind of like Woodson here a little bit. I don't know. This is a great fight. Yeah, I really like this fight.
I'm dog or pass. That's why I'm like very. And the fact that I'm so undecided, I guess should tell me like take the plus money.
And it's decent plus money.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's dog or pass.
And,
I might even end up fighting myself on him on fight.
And
day.
then Woodson, outside of who hurt him in that weird fight?
Hurt Woodson or hurt Jordan?
Woodson. It was that weird fight that got stopped but didn't. The guy walked away. Fuck, what's his name? Brazilian.
Saldana?
Oh my god.
Saldana.
Yeah, Saldana. Yes.
But that's the only time we've really seen Woodson hurt. He really rolls well with punches.
He fought, his last fight was against Bazooka, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then
Dennis Bazooka.
Denise. Yeah. On short notice because he was supposed to fight somebody else.
Dennis was short notice.
Yeah. And then Woodson, even Saldana, like the fact that he won round 3, even after being hurt. I know Saldana probably should have won that fight, but
hurt badly, like really
bad. The fact he found a way to fight through round 3 really makes me feel good about him as a decent dog shot here.
He's only lost 1 fight.
The only thing is, when you bet against Jourdain and he wins, you feel like such a fucking idiot because he just does what you're like, oh, of course he's doing that.
Yeah.
He just pushes the pressure and whatnot. But I guess we'll see. That's great matchmaking. I think it's a great match.
It's a really good fight.
I think so too.
Then the headliner of the prelims is Brad Katona, the Irishman, versus Garrett Armfield. Katona minus 192-ish on the UFC website. Garrett Armfield plus 160. Another fight where I feel like it's kind of a coin flip.
I feel like this is such a good Katona by decision written all over it. I mean, he only goes to decisions.
Armfield does like.
You don't think Armfield could like outstrike him though?
I think he could
stay on the feet.
No, you're probably right. This is probably like a dog or pass for me, even though like I
feel like Armfield can knock him out in round 1.
I hope so. I'm not like the biggest. I'm not that I want to see Katona get hurt. I'm just not like a crazy Katona guy.
The only thing is, Armfield, like he just like his late round cardio is not great, and Katona is just dog. Like
that's why when I see it, I think just him winning by decision because he'll just win the 3rd round.
Yeah, and Katona he's just like a guy that just finds a way out of no way, and especially against a guy like Armfield, like I can see it, like round 3/decision may be a good bet. I wonder what that number will be, but.
And then on to the main card. Good main card here. Good fight to kick things off. Number 4 in the featherweight division versus number 9. Arnold Allen versus Evlev. Plus 140 on Arnold Allen. How do you feel about that?
This is one Evlov. I mean, the last time we saw Evlov was that last May, that fight against Diego Lopez.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the last time he fought. Which Lopez, it's aged well for sure.
Yep.
Evlov has never had a finish in the. Does he have one or never finished in the UFC?
I don't think he does. No,
I don't think he's ever
decisions.
had a finish in the UFC.
All
even though he's undefeated. That's why he's like 6-7-0 in the UFC. He's ranked 9 still.
Ige, Dewadu, Lentz, yeah.
Ige's striking looked very good, but Allen, I thought Allen lost to Holloway, but held his own.
Yep.
I feel like Allen's a live dog. Maybe I'm burning money here, but it's obviously whether he can withstand because obviously Evlov's going to want to wrestle and grapple the whole time. Really more wrestle. But
Allen's faced such better competition.
That's what I'm like. That's why I would like to take a shot at Allen here. Probably at the plus.
By the way, Boca J, you just sent something on Twitter. It says, can anyone even see these comments? Yes, we can see. If you're watching on Twitter,
everyone can see that comment.
Now everyone can. If you can, if you're on Twitter and you're watching, put the comments. We see everything.
Yep.
Unless we won't read it if you're being mean though.
No, we will, but we won't read it out loud.
Correct.
Oh, that is true. We will see it. But if it's a mean, funny thing or funny mean, we'll talk about it. But I think Arnold. I keep looking at this. Everyone loves Evelev, but Allen. I mean, come on. Like he looked really good against Holloway. He won that 5th round. Like he went for it. Like they told him, hey, you're down 3-1. You have to go for it. He went for it. That was impressive. Sure. I know this is a 3-round fight. Evelev, I mean, I guess could just be a wet blanket, but it's like Arnold Allen's so strong. He finds ways up through, like he gets taken down and he just is kind of like a get up jitsu guy. Like he's just like so strong, gets up. And I know that's not great for cardio and whatnot, but if your cardio withstands Max Holloway, I know it's different because grappling, cardio and whatnot, but I don't know. I keep looking at that line. I'm like, Arnold Allen, like, why not?
I would love if we get to like 150.
Isn't he up there?
It's like 140. It's
140 on the UFC website, but maybe you could find it.
It's like up to minus 180.
Is he? If he's 180, I have to take him. I'd seen it like going back in. Yeah, he's 160 on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Allen actually.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say 150. I think is my bar. Anything above 150, I feel like is
and everybody's on an Evelip.
is a solid bet.
On
like Robbie's, he's fought way better competition. He's just, I mean,
yes, way better. And like
Evlov's Ige or Lopez, what is the best? And crazy that might be the next fight we see between the two of them.
True.
They're saying I think Lopez might be stepping in.
That'd be awesome.
Which that's a great fight. I might have to fade my guy Lopez. That's his conversation.
I know you said that would be heartbreaking
for another day. I love him so much. But I think Allen here, anything above plus 150 is like a good play. That's when those, like, if he loses, he loses. If he gets grapple fucked, then so be it.
The next fight is our guy Chris Curtis, number 14 in the middleweight division, trying to keep Marc-Andre Barriault out of that division. And he had that back and forth at media day where he was saying, you could call me a gatekeeper, but I'm not going to let you in. So he feels definitely, I think, slighted by the gatekeeper comments. I don't know what to think about this fight.
This is similar where he's fought way better competition. Chris Curtis has.
Yeah.
If you look at the resume of guy, he's fought a lot of guys in the top 15.
And he rattled some of them off in that clip. And he's
pretty much the only one he lost to that I thought he like lost was Hermanson. Which we all remember that. That was when he had the breakdown on Twitter after.
With the middle fingers, right? Yes. I was at that fight. Yeah.
Because MAB is the cardio machine. Like, he's a beast. But we've also seen him beat Shinny. Like, Chidi knocked him out in 67, which it was a straight shot that I think it was more of a temple shot, even still knocked him out. And Curtis is so much, it's deceptive because he's like 5 inches shorter, but their reach is the same.
Yeah, he's got long arms.
So his boxing is really good. His takedown defense is great.
Yeah, remember what he did against
Hermanson could not take him down.
That was the guy who couldn't take him down and went 0 for 25.
Vieira, Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah.
That's I like. It's tough because I struggle to lay minus 200 with him, but I like him in the fight though. Like, I really think he's gonna win. I'm looking for someone probably to parlay with him, maybe like just one other leg.
I like Curtis here, but Marc-Andre's. Yeah, I think this is one that's just like I don't know. It's like you want to bet it. It will definitely be an enjoyable fight. Curtis just manages his distance so well. It makes sense he's best friends with Sean Strickland because they're just both so good at they just spar and they just fight. They're just so good at that. And Curtis can find that bomb. We've seen him do it before.
Knocked out Buckley like that. Yeah. Obviously, Phil Hawes.
Now, Marc-Andre has a, like, I wouldn't say questionable chin. Like, we've seen him knocked out. He's still durable.
Yep, for sure. Yep.
But Curtis finds but then again, it's like Curtis is not a decision merchant, but he is a guy who could do 3 rounds and almost not get touched really and just roll from there. But Marc-Andre is great against defense, man. And it's like maybe he can get Curtis up against defense. I mean, that's why he's plus 170 instead of like a little bit more than that. So I keep going back and forth. I think the line's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Curtis. I think he gets it done.
By the way, there's like 50 of you in the YouTube right now. Please like, subscribe, follow, chat it up, comment.
Don't forget, we're gonna be live after the pay-per-view as well on Saturday night.
Right when it's over, we'll be live.
Main event ends maybe 5-10 minutes afterwards. You come back to this channel.
We gotta
we'll
let
be live.
Strickland and DDP talk.
True. You gotta let him talk in a cage. Talk it out. The next fight is Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. Okay. Mike Malott on the UFC website says minus 250.
Now he's up to like minus 380, right?
Yeah. I was even looking. He's minus like 190 by finish.
Dude, I think this is a squash spot.
I think so too. I think he finishes him.
Yeah, I think
he potentially does it like first, second round. Like,
okay, so like,
do you parlay him with Chris Curtis?
Maybe
parlay a finish.
Potentially, I might do. He's
Mike Malott by finish. I think Chris Curtis.
He's clubbing some. I think he's live here. I think Malott is just better. I think, and this is an older Magny now.
Magny has not looked good. Ian Gary made him look like, I don't know how he's
a punching bag.
How he just like Ian
I don't know
Gary,
how Ian didn't finish that fight.
But Ian Gary, like, Neil Magny, you've been fighting the UFC for what? Forever? You don't know how to, like, the leg kicks, like it wasn't even like they were spectacular. The leg kicks broke his brain. And then on top of it, he didn't look good against Phil Rowe. If you're not looking good against Phil Rowe, I know Magny won by decision, but there was a lot of people that thought Phil Rowe won that fight. It was
really close, yeah.
Mike Malott's on a different level. Magny said he got this call for this fight, and he said, I don't know if I want to take it. And then he went and talked to his team, and his team goes, yeah, you shouldn't take that fight. And then he goes, you know what? Actually, I'm going to take the fight. And on top of it, he's talking about how he said he wasn't in the right mindset to fight. He's going through a divorce.
The thing with his kids and shit.
The kids and stuff.
Yeah.
I think, and then we have a Malat, who's this locked in guy, hasn't lost in the UFC. I know it's a lot of pressure, but like he's the face of this card in terms of Canadian.
100%.
And this is his spot. I think he's just going to kill him. Like, I really do.
I think so. I wouldn't be shocked if he just knocked him out. He's shown some power.
I think Neil Magny, like, I'm not saying he's doing this to get a paycheck, but it's just like, he's not good anymore. Like, I just don't think
this is literally a fight to prop up, to give Mike Malott a number next to his name, prop him up.
Hot Billy.
Neil Magny is legit the Hunter Campbell audible option.
Then the co-main event, the women's bantamweight title bout, Raquel Pennington versus Maria Bueno Silva, number 2 versus number 3.
This really hard time with this one.
Yeah, I don't know,
because part of I like Bueno Silva. Yeah. Like, I'm picking her to win, not super confidently.
It feels like the kind of fight like a vet could edge out.
Yeah, like
in a 5-round setting like that.
Yeah, Pennington has so Marina Bueno Silva, she hasn't lost in this weight class. She has looked good. Like, she had some finishes too.
Yeah.
Obviously, she submitted Holly Holm.
But it was fake. That was a fake fucking.
Yeah, that was. I lost my shirt on that fight. Quilly said #smoke break. I don't blame you. I don't blame you,
Raquel Pennington. By the way, I was doing some research last night. I forgot. You remember when Raquel Pennington got mixed up with Amber Heard has a friend named Raquel Rocky Pennington.
Really?
Yes, but it's a different.
I don't remember this. No.
And within the trial, like she was a part of the trial, but then the media kept using photos of Raquel Rocky Pennington.
I mean, I could see the confusion,
and I for whatever reason. And all that being said, Raquel just she's been on kind of a decent run. I know it feels like it's fake, but she's been on a decent run. She's locked in. You get her at dog money. I mean, I don't think Bueno Silva is really good. Neither of these two girls are very good, to be completely honest.
It really is, even though whatever you think of Juliana Pena, this is just like the winners just fighting Juliana Pena.
Totally. Juliana Pena had something the other day where she like call out Macy Barber or something, because we posted the Macy Barber why'd she say fuck me?
She had it was one of those photos where it was like a dad or a mother with 3 kids. Yeah. And then she put her face and then a bunch of other faces on it. I think Amanda Nunes, maybe somebody else she fought, and then she put Macy Barber. And then people were and then Lee was like, why you say fuck me? That was a good tweet
by Lee. Yeah, it was good stuff, Lee. And then the main event, the fight that everyone's here for, Sean Strickland versus
Shout out UFC Alien. We pay $20 a gram.
UFC Alien, brother. I used to sell $20 grams to kids like you. I appreciate you being here. $60 eights too.
Yeah,
easy pickings.
I would probably buy a gram for 20. Sean Strickland versus Dricus Du Plessis. Now, I said earlier,
I don't know,
maybe on the last show, oh, man. I think I said I was pretty confident in Sean Strickland. I think Sean's just going to walk him down, beat the fuck out of him. I don't know if this makes me crazy for saying this. I feel like Sean getting rattled by reporters makes me less confident in him, because I feel like this fight week has been a lot on him mentally.
I'm not going to lie. Even him crying. I know this is as crazy as it sounds. Him crying on Theo Vaughn because of
and then messaging Dricus and being like, let's keep this off limits. And Dricus talking about that at media day made me more confident in him, because it was as Jack would say, a based move, I would say, for him to respond and go, there is absolutely nothing you can say about me that would offend me, but sure, I'll not mention your thing. Yeah. That was like he patted Sean Strickland on the head there and said, okay, buddy, I won't mention that.
And he was like, yeah, go ahead, make the gay jokes about and then he walks up to him with his hot girlfriend, his hot South African girlfriend. He's also going up with he's making Nina laugh.
Yeah.
I know Nina does everything, but it's she's cheating and not actually. But all that being said, I don't know what to do. It's Sean, when he's on his back foot, is not as good. He's best when he's on his front foot, and Dricus is going to put him on the back foot. That being said,
better.
that being said, it's like if this gets down to like -110 Strickland by fight time, I feel like I'm going to be on Strickland. At -130 plus 110, I know it's as lame as it sounds. It's a main event. It's a great main event. I'm pumped up for it. I don't know if I'm going to. Maybe I'll bet Sean Strickland late props, like round 4, round 5. I could see Strickland maybe gassing or Tadricus gassing, but then again,
I do still lean
8%
Strickland because of
oxygen.
that. Yeah, true. Yeah.
I said to Sean earlier in the week, I kind of like TDP.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not another one like not super confident. I'm going to bet it because it's the main event.
You'll bet DDP?
I'm saying I'm going to bet
just the fight. The fight. Gotcha.
But as of right now, I love you, UFC Alien. Love you too, MPI. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, love you guys.
I really, whenever I just keep going up what you were saying, like the DDP is gonna put him on the back foot. Like DDP is going to go forward.
Yeah,
that's going to happen.
Yes.
And if Sean Strickland, like if they just, and it's even Eric Nixon, great coach that Sean said, coach, even said like them getting to that just like meet in the middle brawl game is DDP's game. Like, that's what DDP wants. Sean wants to play like the technical game.
Could you imagine he knocks Sean Strickland out and calls out Israel right afterwards?
Dude, that would be so. That would call for like the UFC 300 main event would be so legendary. The fight of Africa that we've been waiting for. Except for now, all of a sudden DDP is the one holding the belt,
which is crazy. Yeah,
it's nuts. Adesanya like coming challenge.
By the way, it's the
to retain the middleweight belt
perfect
to come retain the middleweight belt for the 3rd time.
Yeah,
and then you can
just sets up like the stars aligning. I don't know. My head, I love Strickland. My brain is telling me DDP. I think I need to go with my brain. Too much I let like my emotions and things get into it. When I look at this fight with my brain, it says DDP is going to win, and I'm going to bet on DDP. Hit me over the head with a frying pan if I don't do that. I might end up betting Strickland. I don't know. I change my mind sometimes.
Yeah, follow Ev on Twitter to follow his bet. He'll tweet his bet.
I like DDP plus money to me is just very intriguing.
What was DDP's line to Izzy that was ice cold? It was like
he said, I may be African, brother of mine.
Yeah, that was
my African brother. He
was like, yeah, I may be African, but you're no brother. That was great.
Brother of mine. That was good. That was really good.
Line, yeah.
Now, I really just don't know. I feel like this is just it's a mincy line, but they really got the line right here. Like,
Vegas really knows what they're talking about.
But oh man,
they did it again.
Vegas. It's unbelievable.
This is I will say though, when they're walking out, it's going to be one of those like tingly
big
feelings.
fight feel. Yeah.
That's like holy shit. Here we go.
Because we're getting violence. Like no matter what happens, we're getting violence.
5 p.m. today. There's the press conference,
and that'll be fireworks.
I think someone's getting knocked out
at the press conference.
maybe.
And don't forget, we're still on Bite Watch for the main event.
It may be a fan. It may be somebody's getting hit.
Well, it's funny you said. You brought up the biting thing, and then the next day we learned about Stab Watch.
Watch, Bite Watch. Things are getting violent. Things are getting bad. It's a lot of bad blood in the main event, but maybe not so much bad blood because they're like hugging each other now. But
I guarantee it'll still be shit talk.
It's rooted in bad blood.
Honestly, the thing if DDP, imagine he just says it again.
If DDP says it again,
things like that is gonna get fucking crazy. He honestly should.
I think DDP knows he's a fucking villain. I think he knows what he's doing. I don't think he cares either. The way he said about the Africa thing to Izzy and then continued to double down on it, not in the terms of like obviously it will always be rooted in like a social race and whatnot, but the way he just kept just talking about that. And then here, I think he knows what he's doing. And I think he's like, all right, Sean, call me gay. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll kiss my my coach, and I'll go in there, and then I'll say your dad abused you, and then I'm gonna knock you out.
He said he was like, oh, you want me to because he's like, you want some more photos?
Yeah.
He was like, you see my girl, his girlfriend is a smoke.
Yeah.
He's like, you see my girlfriend. He's I don't care about like what do you think I'm worried about? Like people think I'm gay.
Yeah.
I think he said sexuality instead of gay, but you get my point. He just was like, you think I give a fuck?
That is like a fundamental difference between the two of them too, because I feel like if someone called Sean Strickland gay, he wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah, be like, what the fuck, man? I fucking hate it.
One of the best responses I saw a bunch of people say like the only thing this Sean Strickland rant was missing is the the Xbox headset around his head.
That's funny.
All right, I think that's it on the card. Anything else from you guys?
No, we'll be Saturday night
right after the card.
Presser's gonna be tuning in for the presser. I think it's gonna be a good one.
And then
hopefully at least
we'll be around all week. on Twitter. Check out our plays.
That's right.
And then, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Big one, man. First big.
Gonna be drinking some New Amsterdam vodka.
Absolutely.
That's right. Thank you, New Amsterdam. And we'll talk to all you guys in the chat right after the fights.